Hello, fellow readers. I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club.
This is my first opportunity at writing fiction, and the thought of writing a kissing scene nearly did me in. I couldn't remember if I'd ever kissed before, even had to do it. I have.
Wait, you're married.
Yes, I am married. I have 3 children. Yeah, so then I practiced kissing.
I bet your husband liked that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It was really a happy day.
There's so many things I want to say right now.
Will it reveal how old you are?
Now that might reveal how old you are.
Have you got a favorite moment in your book or a favorite quote that you would like to share with us to get us a little excited about it?
I have a quote that a reviewer left on a Goodreads review, and it made me laugh. It was so cute. So I'll tell you that one. And she said, Vivian Kirby is the MacGyver of the Victorian era. So that's cute.
And I accidentally said 79 ghosts. And then I was so excited to publish it that it was published and out there in the world when I realized I have to write 79 books for this series.
And I don't want to give the story away, but she meets a guy who is a doctor.
Yes.
And Allison happens to be married to a doctor.
That is right. And I picked this because I knew I could write with a little bit of intelligence about what a doctor does. And I didn't think I could write about anything else with quite the same amount of knowledge. So when I use the word endocrine in the book, I use it correctly.
Good job.
Thank you.
Because I've read a lot of books where it's not used correctly. That just totally bugs me.
It ruins the whole book for you.
It does.
Yes.
We were climbing over big giant falling down trees and around things and under things, and everything was fine. And I got to a clearing, or looked like a clearing, and turned out there was a log about that big around under the leaves. And I rolled on it, and I literally did a face plant. I had scratched corneas, and my face was all scratched, but the leg was, and I had to lay there for 3.5 hours while the ambulance tried to find us up on top of the mountain.
Why not? So the title of my book, well, let me explain this. I hate romance novels. And I always have. And
that really makes everyone want to read her romance novel, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, yes. That's how my mom is. She's my biggest fan. And I just love it. She has all these friends. Oh, is this your daughter, the author? Yes.
Well, I'm lucky that I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and they have sort of stepped up as my biggest fans now. So they're the ones out there telling everyone about my books.
Well, and what made me decide that I had to put goats in this book was my kids go to a high school that is the it's the farming high school in the district. So it's like they have this really big agricultural program where you can learn how to so there's a working farm at the school. So really? I went into the office to drop something off because kids forget stuff, so I had to go take something to the school, and the front desk person had a baby goat in a diaper in her arms. And the goat was 3 days old. It was itty bitty. And she's just sitting there, just petting this goat, and it just had a little diaper. And I was like, there's a goat in a diaper in the high school. And she was like, oh, it happens every spring. And I'm like, what?
So I want each of you to tell me, which of your sisters would you call if you needed to hide a body? Let's start with Andrea.
Well, I would call Andrea. I would call Andrea too.
I wouldn't.
I think I'm flattered, except Melinda.
I would call Allison
Why?
because you're the problem solver in the family. You would
Oh.
know how to solve that problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say Andrea or Allison. Allison because she just takes over and knows what to do. Andrea because she knows
I know where to bury
all
people.
of the underbelly.
Well, I would say I would ask Alesha to help me bury a body because knowing her husband and her kids, I'm not entirely sure she hasn't already buried a body. So I think that Alesha might have the experience that I'm looking for.
Okay. We do have the equipment, backhoes, tractors.
And the equipment.
Yep.
I didn't think of that, but yeah, she does. Well, when I thought about that question, I would also choose Andrea, mostly because Andrea probably would not tell anybody.
No, I
Like if you asked me to help you bury your body, I'd call the police. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. First, what is your favorite romantic movie?
Oh man, put me on the spot. I have a ton. Obviously, I love the historical movies. I love Pride and Prejudice. I love all those BBC.
Oh.
But if I were to sit down right now and pop in a movie, the one that I'm almost always trying to get people to watch with me is Austin Land. And I just think
I love that
it's
one.
so fun and so hilarious, and it just never fails to make me happy.
No, it's
The
perfectly.
good movie that everyone should watch is the Scarlet Pimpernel, the 1980s version with Anthony Andrews and Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour. Oh,
That's like my favorite movie of all
I
time.
so agree. I love that movie so much. That is definitely.
Probably repeat that movie word for word. In fact, one time we were driving back from California, and it was with my sister and my mom, and they were watching it on the DVD in the back seat. But and I was driving, but it's like I saw the whole movie while because I've seen it so many times. But love that movie.
What is the worst movie you've ever seen that you think everybody should see?
Oh gosh. There's a new release that I actually love so much, and it's very funny, but it's very silly. And I tell everyone that I recommend it to that you have to go into it knowing that it's ridiculous. Okay. And it's called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. And it stars Kristen Wiig and Annie Romulo. Oh gosh, I forget her last name, but it is so funny. It is so funny. And
Barb and Star Go to
Vista Del Mar.
Vista Del Mar. Okay.
It's these two best friends, and they are like middle-aged, and they wear their culottes, and they talk funny. And they go to Florida on a vacation, and it's so funny. But it's one of those that you absolutely have to know that going into it that there's little redeeming value in this movie other than making me smile for a minute. So yeah, it's so funny.
I like Leap Year that has Amy Adams in it and Matthew Good.
I've seen that's the one where she goes to Ireland.
Yes, because a woman, it's okay for her to propose on Leap Year.
On Leap Year, that's right. That was a really cute one. I love that guy. I don't know his name, but he is so good looking.
Matthew Good. His name is Matthew Good. And it's funny because he's not normally my type, but the more I watch that show, I'm like, he's so cute.
Oh yeah, he's just broody and love him. So let me tell you, and I've mentioned this on the book club before. One of the movies that I think is like wildly romantic is The Terminator.
That's my other one. That's all. I was just looking at my notes. I thought that had such a powerful romantic element in it, even though it wasn't a romance. It was really well done.
So my sister-in-law got me into these, which is so crazy because it's almost like reading a book because they are Korean dramas on Netflix.
Okay. Crash Landing on You.
Yes.
So mine it's this movie called Troll 2. And it's this weirdest, I think it was made in Utah, and it's so weird and so bad. It's hilarious. I mean, we laughed It's supposed to be a horror movie, but we just laughed the whole way through.
Caveats. When my son was a teenager, he loved Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh.
And so it was, it was on the, and I just thought, okay, so I sat down and watched it once with him and his friends, and it was so dumb. But then he said to me, Mom, you have to watch it again. And so I watched it again. And when I watched it again, I laughed the whole way through. So it's like one of those movies that's the worst movie, but you have to watch it. You just have to be in the right frame of mind too, right?
Okay, so you're stuck on a desert island. Would you rather have a lifetime supply of chocolate or a lifetime supply of toilet paper?
I would probably pick the chocolate, because the toilet paper, you can use leaves if you have to, but if you have nothing to eat,
There we go. And also toilet paper is like, if I could find a charcoal stick, a stick with some charcoal on the end of it, I could maybe write on it. And I love to write, and I always have to have paper and pen. So I could use the toilet paper for multiple purposes.
Okay. Chocolate all the way. I feel like there is no reason to have toilet paper. Which is crazy. I know that toilet paper is all the hype right now because we're out of toilet paper. I was one of those people during the pandemic who couldn't find toilet paper. Finally, my mom drove an hour to bring me some. She found it at her Costco. So clearly it's not, as strong to me as chocolate. So chocolate all the way.
Okay, great. Probably the toilet paper, because I love chocolate. And but if I'm stuck on the desert island, I'd probably tire of it. Whereas the other choice is somewhat of a necessity. So
you never get tired of toilet paper. So how about you, Melinda? What would you choose?
Could I just take one square of each?
That's it?
Not
Yeah.
gonna last you very long.
I'm gonna die anyway.
Wow, defeatist. Okay.
But I love romance.
It's interesting that your book has the gunman.
Yeah, that's true. How about you, Juliet?
Right. I'd probably just do chocolate.
Would you?
Because there are leaves, and you don't have any matches, do you?
Do you always carry one in your bra along with your extra change?
No to both of those.
Maybe
you guys don't ever feel like we always get too much information from Allison?
Now I know
Mother always tell you to carry enough money so that you could always use a payphone. And the only place you could carry it was your bra, because you often didn't have pockets or socks.
Yeah.
There aren't payphones in existence anymore.
That's true. That might give you a clue to how old Allison is.
You see, now, as an author, I'm not looking at the toilet paper or the chocolate. Chocolate's tasty, but after about 3 of them, your teeth stick together. Toilet paper is really useful, but if I'm on a desert island by myself, I'll just go into the ocean, thank you. What I really want to know is, how did I get here? Who's here with me? What supplies do I have? Is there fresh water? Am I going to survive more than 48 hours? What kind of food do I have besides chocolates? Because let's face it, chocolates probably be.
I asked one of my sons this question today, and he said, well, you could build a raft out of chocolate. So there you go. We go with chocolate in this house.
Okay.
So I would not ask Alicia's son to bury a body.
Besides, I'd hate to be caught on an island without any trees or anything to wipe my bottom when I went to bed.
Okay, it just got graphic.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.